bookish friends, my name is Maddie and welcome to a reading vlog. This is future me because I realized that I never made an intro for this video. It's kind of a long story, but like 2 months ago I decided that I want to start doing reading vlogs for like a category of books or a specific genre of books and read 3 books, vlog my experience, you know, take however much time I need in order to finish those books and then upload the vlog footage, although I do have like scheduled days for each vlog. But since then I have made 2 different vlogs, read the first 2 books that I had planned on reading and never read the 3rd one, so those vlogs never got uploaded. Maybe I'll finish them at some point, but honestly the quality is so terrible and I'm going to try and make my vlogs better quality. But if you decide to continue watching this video, future me apologizes for the video quality. This is going to be my YA sci-fi vlog. I started reading The Host like 2 months ago and it literally took me 2 months because I was listening to the audiobook, my loan expired, and then I had to wait a couple weeks before I got the book back and then I finished it then. But because like of that time gap, I forgot to update you as I was reading, so future me also apologizes for that. But if you're interested, keep watching because I read The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and then today I'm going to start reading The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, and I also have an audiobook of this from Libby and it expires in like 2 days, and in 2 days is when I was technically supposed to upload this video. We'll see if that actually happens, but the loan is about to expire, so I really need to start this audiobook. I'm wanting to read the audiobook because I don't think I can actually get myself to read the physical copy because I've heard so much negative things, and I know if I read the audiobook I'll be able to easily read it. Why do my dogs always enter when I'm filming? Might as well meet them. Come here, Essie. Hi. Hi. You want to say hey to the people online? Look. They're over there. Yeah. Well, that was Essie, and Heidi has since walked out of the room, and Essie's still here, so if you hear dog noises in the background, I'm sorry, but I love them too much to kick them out. But anyway, I was saying that I've heard so much negative things about The Fifth Wave that I don't think I could read the physical copy. Like, I don't think I could actually bring myself to pick it up, even though I may actually end up really liking it. So I'm going to try the audiobook, and if it expires before I finish it, then I'll just finish reading the book in the physical copy. But it's fine. I really don't care either way, just as long as I read it. And then after The Fifth Wave, I plan on reading Heart of Iron. In order to stick with my filming schedule, I'll need to read The Fifth Wave today and finish it today. That way I can read Heart of Iron tomorrow by Ashley Poston. For some reason, I have this tiny feeling in me that I'm going to end up DNFing Heart of Iron. I don't know why. Hopefully I actually like it, but we'll see. Right now, my family and I are going over to our land. We have like almost 140 acres, and we are going to get a campsite set up, and we are going to lay around in hammocks, and I'm going to be listening to the audiobook for The Host. So I totally forgot that this audiobook is forever long. It's like 23 hours long, but I just made it to the 2-hour mark, and so far there's nothing that I don't like. There's nothing that I don't like. Hey guys, so I've been horrible about giving updates for The Host. I'm reading a lot of different books and vlogging them separately, and I just completely forgot to give you updates. But I just finished The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually really liked this book. I think I give it somewhere around 4.5 stars. I rated it 5 stars on Goodreads, but it's not like absolutely amazing, but I did really like it. And I know a lot of people who have read both Twilight and The Host say that The Host is a lot better, and I do agree. I actually like Twilight too. Like, I see its faults, but it has a special place in my heart, and I still enjoy it. So, like, I like Twilight too, but The Host is actually, it's not a bad book. The only thing that really irked me is Well, if you don't know what the series is about, it's about aliens, and these soul beings come to Earth and they invade human bodies, as in like they use humans as their host. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but there's some romance between, you know, multiple people, and the main character, who is the alien, is like, this body belongs to the love interest, doesn't belong to the woman herself. And that really bothered me. She's like, no, I can't do this because the body belongs to this guy because he loves her, so therefore the body belongs to him. That's the only thing that really irks me.
You can talk. Oh, I tried to tell you. You're the one. It was you all the time.
I just got back from Disney World, and I've got the song from Aladdin stuck in my head, but yet I'm singing words about Beauty and the Beast in French, so help me.
I guess I'm singing to you, Essie. I guess I'm singing to you. Oh my goodness. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Heidi. Heidi, over here. Over here, Heidi.
She's blind, so it's kind of sad. Hey guys, I am eating vegan chicken nuggets. I am about to go to my aunt's house to pick up my grandmother because my aunt is now cancer-free. And it is completely incredible because her survival rate was not very promising, and she had stage 4 cancer, and she just found out that she's completely free of cancer, like it was never even there. Anyway, so the other day we went over to her house to celebrate, and my grandmother decided to stay over at her house for a couple days, and now I'm gonna go back and pick up my grandmother. All right, so I just finished eating, and while I was eating, I started the audiobook for The Fifth Wave, and so far, like, I'm liking it. I'm not very far at all. I'm only a couple chapters in, but it's pretty good so far. I mean, I've seen like the first 30 minutes of the movie, and I'm just trying to pretend like I didn't see the movie at all because I just want to appreciate the book, and I wish I hadn't been spoiled for the beginning, but let's be honest, most YA sci-fi alien books that where like aliens invade the planet are kind of all the same. It's already reminding me of The Host. It's very similar right now. I don't see that many differences, but instead of being inside the head of an alien, you're inside the mind of a human. Why do I have this feeling that the guy that she has a crush on, who's supposed to be dead, isn't actually dead, and that's going to be the love interest for the rest of the series? It's just a little guess. Don't worry, I'm in our long driveway, so it's fine. I have like an hour drive to get to my aunt's house, so that will be plenty of time to listen to this audiobook. God, that's bumpy. I probably won't be able to listen to the audiobook on the way home because my grandmother will be in the car with me. Anything I don't get done on the drive there, I will have to finish tonight, but it's gonna take me like 6 hours to finish this audiobook on double speed, and considering it's only an hour drive, I may not finish it today. Hopefully I do, but you know, I also have a life and I have things that I need to do and want to do besides listen to an audiobook all the time. So I may or may not get this vlog done in time, but it's okay. It's okay. One of the best things about YA books centered around the end of the world is everyone is focused on the guys or the girls that they want to be with, like the people that they've always had a crush on, or the hottest kid in school, or whatever. Like, it's the end of the world. People are dying, and you're being invaded by aliens right now, and you're worried about being with the guy that you never told how you felt. What? On a random note, I hate cold weather. Like, I cannot stand cold weather. But one positive thing about fall is all the leaves changing colors. I love it so much, especially in Alabama, because if you've never been to Alabama and you know, you have automatic assumptions about the South, because most people do, because I did go to college in Missouri, so I have heard all kinds of things, all kinds of assumptions about the South, so I know they exist. I'm not an idiot. But Alabama is actually one of the most beautiful states I've ever seen, and I know I'm biased, but honestly, it's the truth. If you don't know, our state slogan is Alabama the Beautiful, so it has to be somewhat pretty, you know? But anyway, it is just gorgeous, and contrary to popular belief, apparently, Alabama is not all farming fields. Like, why do you even think that? Alabama is mostly just one big giant forest. And of course, we border the Gulf of Mexico, so we have beaches and marshlands just like Florida. And then, yes, towards the middle of the state, we do have like cotton fields and soybean fields, and I think we're known for peanuts. I don't remember. I should have paid more attention in third grade history. But we're not all fields. We're not all farming fields. I don't understand why people think that. And from midway to north of the state, it's all like mountains. It's all hills and mountains. We are at the bottom of the Appalachian Mountains. My aunt actually lives on top of a mountain, and it is an absolutely gorgeous drive, so I am excited because I hope I get to show you what it looks like. I probably shouldn't be filming while I'm driving because my mom would kill me, and she'll probably see this video and she'll probably kill me later. But Mom, if you're watching, I promise I'm being careful. I promise. Obviously, this book is fiction, but it is freaking scary, y'all. If this really happened, it would be absolutely terrifying. So I'm on the second wave, like where it talks about the second wave. So the first wave was an EMP, and then the second wave was kind of like an Ebola virus, but airborne. So pretty much the majority of the whole population died from like this virus, which is similar to Ebola, which like makes you bleed out of everywhere, which is terrifying. So like, you think of all the damage that the Ebola virus did and is still doing, and then you make that virus airborne. That is terrifying. And that's only the second wave, so I can't imagine what the other ones are. I'm terrified right now.
almost there, so I'm not going to be able to film for a while, but I am on chapter 16 of the 5th wave, which means I am 17% of the way through, and I like it so far. There's nothing that I don't like about it. Hey guys, I am home, and it's been a rough day. I am getting sick, and I know, like, earlier I was very chipper and felt fine, but then once I got to my aunt's house, it's just like everything went downhill. And I really hope I'm not getting the flu, but it's kind of starting out that way. I don't want the flu.
Hey guys, it is Wednesday morning, the morning that this video is supposed to go up. That's now happening. So, basically what happened was, I got really sick, and I'm still really sick, and I went to the doctor yesterday. It's not the flu, so that's something to be thankful for, but I'm on like 4 different medications right now to try and help me get over it, and I also got 2 shots, and it hurt really bad. But anyway, I'm not really feeling the greatest, as you can probably tell. I look dreadful, I feel dreadful. I didn't end up doing any reading. I did schoolwork all day after I got home from the doctor, so yesterday was just so mentally draining and exhausting. I plan to just spend the day and read and relax. I've got like 5 hours before my 5th wave audiobook loan is expired, and I have like 3.5 hours left, so I've been listening to that this morning because I woke up and couldn't sleep. It's like super early. I can't breathe, so you know how that goes. But I'm going to try and finish that audiobook this morning before the loan expires. If I don't, it's fine.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give you an update. I am feeling a lot better. You know, I'm still sick, but I feel better. And I did end up finishing the audiobook for the 5th wave yesterday. And I have some things to talk about. I don't have a lot, but I did make a few notes on my phone. I wish I would have been able to express my feelings as I was reading it, but I was just so sick that I didn't have it in me. The first thing I noticed coming was a love triangle. And I will go ahead and say the love triangle is not present in this book, but I know throughout the rest of the series, I know it's going to happen. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I definitely know who the 2 love interests in the love triangle are going to be. And honestly, I don't know who I want to root for. I don't know who I want to ship, because there's positives and negatives about both of the love interests, and I don't know how I feel about them yet. I think I like one character more than the other, but again, I don't really have a full sense of who they are yet, because they weren't really developed that much and explored in this first book. And also there hasn't been a lot of interaction between the main character and one of the potential love interests. So I kind of want to see more of how they interact together before I really make a decision on who I ship. One thing I noticed about this book that I don't really like, the multiple POVs. I understand if you want to write a book that has multiple points of views from different characters, because you need to tell different sides of the story in order for them to come together. However, I felt like this author just threw in random perspectives of different people, just not necessarily randomly, but it's like, did we really need a chapter from that person's perspective? I feel like it was kind of a writing cop-out. Essentially, there are 2 main perspectives, but there are also perspectives from a couple different characters, and it just shows up once. So you go back and forth between the 2 main characters, but then every now and then you just get a random chapter from a different character. It's like the author couldn't tell a story without throwing in a random perspective, and I see how the information is useful from those perspectives, but at the same time, I feel like you just need to stick with, you know, your main people. If you're gonna do multiple POVs and you have 2 main characters, just stick with those 2 main characters' perspectives. Why do you have to throw in all these different people's perspectives? It didn't mesh well, in my opinion. I definitely liked the female main character's perspective more than the others, and I have reasons for that, because the male's perspective is very similar to Maze Runner, and I didn't hate the Maze Runner, but I also didn't really like it. And just the way it was written from his perspective and the things that are going on in his chapters, where he's at in the story, it feels a lot like the group of characters in the Maze Runner. Like how they have nicknames for each other, how they're all stuck in one place together, and Each one of them has a specific job. Clearly, some characters are in charge. And within that, they're all different ages from like 5 to 17 or 18, something like that. So it very much reminds me of The Maze Runner, which is kind of a negative. And I did start getting like annoyed and bored with that perspective when it felt like The Maze Runner, but then it went from feeling like The Maze Runner to feeling like Ender's Game, which I enjoyed a lot more. I actually really liked Ender's Game like last month when I read it, so that was more of a positive take on the story, but then it went back to feeling more like The Maze Runner. I kind of started losing interest again. All that to say, I didn't really care for the male's perspective. All in all, I'd probably give this book a 4.25, somewhere around in there, maybe even a 4.5, but I think I went ahead and gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Honestly, I haven't really settled my thoughts on this book. I don't really know how I feel about it, because while I enjoyed it, it was also very similar to other books that I have read, and because I just read The Host, this book, you know, the plot is very different and the characters are very different, but as far as like the alien invasion and the sci-fi elements, it's very similar to The Host. Although I will say that it also kind of reminded me of The Darkest Minds, which I love that series. So like I have very conflicting feelings over this book. And I liked it enough to continue on with the series. I know that most people say the series gets worse and worse with each book, but I'm at least going to give the second one a try, and you know, it may not be as good as this book, but even if it's a 3.5 star book, I think I will still enjoy it because I want to know the ending to this story. I want to continue to follow these characters and their relationships. Do I know when I will continue on with the next book? Absolutely not. Probably not anytime soon. But I do want to watch the movie now, and I have it recorded, so I just gotta take the time to do that. But y'all, I just got Disney Plus, and you know, I was kind of unsure about it, but I just wanted to do the free trial to see what all is on there. And if you haven't gotten Disney Plus yet, do it. You know, I'll at least subscribe for a couple months just to like watch all the movies that I've been wanting to rewatch that I didn't have a way to watch before, or like all the TV shows that I've wanted to rewatch. But once I catch up with those, I don't know if I'll keep subscribing because, you know, it's not like I'm in a constant state of wanting to watch Disney movies. But who knows, we'll see. But I at least encourage you to do the free trial because there are some great movies and great shows on there. That's what I've been doing with my time since I've been sick. So, next I'm going to be starting The Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. I'm going to start reading this today and, you know, I'm going to continue vlogging. But tonight it is my sister-in-law's birthday and we are going out to dinner to celebrate, so I'll probably take you along with me there. But I'm going to try and read as much of this book as I can today. Hopefully I finish it tomorrow, that way I can upload this vlog tomorrow because it's already going to be 2 days late by that point anyway, but it's fine.
I totally was going to read when I got home, and I'm definitely watching High School Musical on Disney+. I'm actually reading the book now, and it's like instantly reminding me of The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Not that I'm that far into it, but just like the world is pretty similar so far to The Lunar Chronicles. So hopefully that's a good thing. So far there are 3 different perspectives. The first perspective is the main character named Anna, who is a 17-year-old girl, and she was found drifting through space and was taken in by a bunch of space criminals, and so now she is a criminal herself. When Anna was found, she had no memory of her past, no memory of anything that had happened to her, so I know that's gonna come into play in the story somehow. And she was found with an android called D, it's his nickname, and the androids in this world are known as the Metals, and he is one of the last surviving illegal metal because all the ones that the government rounded up were like reprogrammed or whatever to be like these soldiers for the government. So he is one of the last remaining illegal metals, and she is trying to find these coordinates to the ship that is supposed to have the answers to fixing an issue that is wrong with him because he's having these glitches, and she's trying to save him because he's her best friend, and each time the glitch is for a longer duration of time, so she wants to fix him by finding these coordinates to the ship that somehow has an answer to this. And then the second perspective is a guy named Rob, And he is basically this rebellious teenage guy who is the brother of the next emperor. So he actually, I guess, is like some type of royalty. And he is also looking for the coordinates to the ship. He actually has them. He beat Anna to the coordinates, and she's trying to track him down to steal them from him. And then the third perspective is a guy named Jax, and he is a pilot who also seems to be one of Anna's best friends. It's interesting so far, and based off of the synopsis, I know they all team up together to go to the ship. And they're fugitives because something bad goes wrong, as the synopsis puts it. I haven't gotten there yet. I have literally just finished the first 3 chapters, but it's pretty good so far.
After watching High School Musical last night, I'm like waking up with all the High School Musical songs stuck in my head.
This could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you.
Y'all, I just spilled hot coffee all over myself, and it burns, and ow. It also went all over my book. It's a good thing it's not a sentimental book, because I would be probably crying right now.
I'm very suspicious of this book because it definitely feels like the exact same thing is going to happen as what happened in the Lunar Chronicles, and I just feel it coming. And, you know, like, it wouldn't be bad if that was the case, but also I don't want it to be too similar. I don't want the same plot devices to be used, because then it just won't be as interesting, you know what I mean? But so far, it's heading that way. I can feel it.
Hey guys, it's Sunday, and I'm not even worried about when this video gets uploaded anymore. It's gonna happen when it happens, but I have made some decent progress in Heart of Iron since I last updated you guys. I am a little over half of the way through, and as far as my thoughts right now, the only thing I really have to say is this book is very predictable. It's still fun and enjoyable, but it's pretty predictable. One thing that's both good and bad about this book is it's very similar to the Lunar Chronicles, which I enjoy. I don't want to say it's a knockoff of the Lunar Chronicles. It's a different story and, you know, a different world, and it's not a fairy tale retelling in any sense, but it still gives me the Lunar Chronicle vibes, and there's just a lot of similarities, and I don't want to spoil you for either book, but the storylines are very similar, and it's kind of like a mix between the Lunar Chronicles and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Obviously though, not as good as the Guardians of the Galaxy. Essentially the main character is a part of this space outlaw group. They have their own ship and they go to different places throughout the galaxy and are basically space pirates, I guess you could say. And they're very much found family to each other. They're also morally gray, so while they are trying to do good things for the universe, they're also criminals. The characters are pretty diverse and they all have their own unique personalities. I love seeing their crew together and how they are each other's family and how their ship is their home. But of course, the plot and the world are much grander than just this crew on this spaceship. Essentially, in this galaxy, there is a goddess who governs everyone. The nobility run everything, and everyone else in the lower class are basically screwed. They all hate the nobility and the oppression of their government. So there are some very corrupt politics and things happening in this book. And then there's also quite a few mysteries into the plot. There's mysteries surrounding different characters. There's mysteries surrounding this ship that is supposed to hold answers for the main characters, and there's also mysteries surrounding the AIs of this world. The metals were originally created to help heal the population of this massive plague because they couldn't be infected. So the metals tended to the sick to keep the healthy people healthy. But then the metals turned sides and they murdered the royal family, they burnt the palace, and because of that, they were hived. So the government took all of the metals and basically reprogrammed them to be like a hive unit. So they're basically just soldiers that can't think for themselves anymore. But of course, things aren't as they seem. I am really enjoying this book so far, but I haven't felt consumed by the story. I haven't really felt the desire to pick it up and just, you know, usually when I really love a book, I open it and I can't stop reading and I just can't put it down until I finish it. So while I do like this book, it's not one of those books. There's just something about it that hasn't really gripped me, and it's probably because it's so similar to the Lunar Chronicles and it's very predictable, so I pretty much have already figured out everything that's going to happen in this book. So that's probably why I don't feel as compelled to pick it up and finish it, because I mean, I feel like I already know what's going to happen. But I am going to continue to read it, of course. I'm only a little over halfway through, so this book could end up surprising me. It could take a different direction, so I'm ready to see what this book has in store.
It is Tuesday, several days later, and I have a confession. I started rereading the Shatter Me series by Tahira Mafi, and I can't stop. I literally cannot stop. I haven't even picked up Heart of Iron in days because I just cannot stop reading the Shatter Me series. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm obsessed, but I'm obsessed.
Hello, friends. I have been doing a lot of schoolwork today. I wrote 2 papers and just did 2 quizzes, and it's been a long day. But I've also been reading a ton, just not the book that I'm supposed to be reading. But now that I'm done with my schoolwork, I'm going to finish Heart of Iron tonight. It's happening. I've finished the first 3 books, the original trilogy of the Shatter Me series, and so now that I'm at a good stopping point, you know, I think I can pick up Heart of Iron and actually read it and, you know, not want to put it down to read Shatter Me. So it's happening tonight. This is going to happen.
I am not amused.
I finally finished this book. I'm going to wrap it up now and try and keep this short. I hated the ending of this book. It was so poorly executed. I have no words. The ideas of the ending weren't that bad in and of themselves, but the way they were executed was just not good, y'all. I ended up giving this book 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I normally round up on Goodreads, so even though it was a 3.5 rating for me, I would usually go ahead and give it 4 stars on Goodreads, but because I hated the ending so much, I couldn't do it, y'all, so this has a 3-star rating for me on Goodreads. Honestly, last night, I really didn't even want to finish this book. I just wanted to, like, watch some TV and then go to bed, but somehow I managed to finish, like, 200 pages, like the last 40% of the book in 2 hours and got it done before midnight. So somehow that happened, but honestly, like, I was so disinterested. I was reading it, but I wasn't really even paying attention to what I was reading most of the time because I didn't care, because it was just not good. But at that point, I had already made it so far into the story that I didn't want to quit. I might as well finish it and check it off the list. Overall, this book was not bad. I actually really enjoyed the first half of the book, but then it just really went downhill for me. It became too predictable, and the world building, y'all, like, I think the author had good world building inside of her head, but as far as the execution of it, it was very much lacking. There's this one character, one of the main characters in this book is of a different race, and his people are able to read people's stars. Whenever he touches someone, he can see into their future and see how they're going to die. And at one point in this book, he's talking about his abilities, and he describes it as everyone has star stuff inside them, and he's looking for the star stuff. That is literally the word used to describe his ability, is the star stuff. I feel like you could do a better job explaining the world and the magic system to us than just referring to things as star stuff. What the heck does that even mean? And then the overarching plot has a lot to do with technology and AIs, and that was just explained horribly as well. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Do you even know what you're talking about right now? It just completely went over my head. And then this book leaves off on a major cliffhanger, but the way it's executed makes me really not even care about what happens at the end. There is a sequel, but honestly, the way the ending of this book was written, it was like, do we really care what happens? It's like, wow, this major thing just happened, but we're talking about it casually. That doesn't make me excited to read the sequel. Overall, I liked the first half of this book. I really did not like the second half of this book, and I will not be continuing on. I just don't care at this point. And so that is it for this YA sci-fi vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and if you made it to the very end of this vlog, because I know it's really long, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content by me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.